Cool. All right. Here we are in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I do the countdown. I don't know if it really works. I don't know if the interwebs are working or not, but apparently it's telling me that I'm live now on Facebook. So I will trust the interwebs that I am now live on Facebook. Good afternoon, as of literally a second ago. This is Dave Saunders, and welcome to Convos with Clients, Conversations with Clients. Today, I have a very special guest. Madison+Main was founded September 30th, 2005. 5 days before I got my business license and before I moved in to the corner of 5th and Franklin to start Madison+Main, I needed something. I needed business cards. I walked into a really cool little printing company over on Gray Street, right in the middle of VCU. And on the other side of the counter was today's guest, Ric Withers. Say hi, Ric.
Hello, how are you?
Not only one of my dearest friends, but Madison+Main's first client.
Pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty cool.
2005.
That was coming up, what, 15 years?
Yeah, I remember that.
15 years ago. When I started my business, I needed some stuff, okay? I needed business cards, right? I needed other things. And so I had to ask around town, right? Word of mouth. I said, hey, does anybody know a really good printer that's close by that can get me something in a hurry because this is something I forgot to do, right? Does that sound familiar, Ric?
Yeah, I hear it all the time.
All right, quick printing, right? Coming in. So I walked in, I said, hey, how you doing? And Ric was the nicest, most knowledgeable guy I've ever met when it comes to printing. And he said, hey, maybe you should do this and maybe you should do this. And I'm like, yeah, really, really cool. And he goes, so you're starting a company? I said, yeah. He goes, do you guys do websites? And I went, sure, we do websites. Yeah, sure, whatever you want. And the next thing you know, we'd helped Wythken with their first version of the website, and then later on with the second version. And I think we're even maybe talking about getting a new one out and changing some things around. So without further ado, let me properly introduce, with the sound machine, all the way from about a third of a mile away, Ric Withers, president of Wythken Printing.
Thank you very much. I can't talk right now because I'm busy downloading the COVID-Wise app. So give me 1 second.
It's only a second. Oh, you're downloading the app?
Very nice. I'm doing it while we talk. So
that'll be like 407,139. So I appreciate that. Whatever the number is today. Yeah, thanks. Also, Ric, in honor of you, my friend, I am wearing my VCU shirt today.
I love it.
I know that Ric, in addition to having Wythken Printing right there in the middle of Gray Street on the VCU campus, is a VCU grad. He got his MS in print media from Rochester Institute of Technology, but he went undergrad, right, VCU? Go Rams, go. I see him and his much better looking wife, Christina, at every single Rams game.
Yeah, we've been going.
Hi to her for me.
No, I will.
And Ric, I know your company. You are as I said, thank you. You're the first client of Madison+Main. You're our longest serving client of Madison+Main. You're a client of Madison+Main literally from day one of the company. So thanks for coming on today.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Give me the elevator pitch and tell me what Wythken Printing is.
All right. So, well, I'll tell you, up until March 13th, I would have said we really are just a general commercial printer. But and that fundamentally is what we do. So we have a variety of different processes here so that we can make just about any product that a mid-sized business needs. So rectangles. We make a lot of rectangles here. We make big rectangles, small rectangles. Yeah, a lot of rectangles. You'd be amazed the kind of rectangles we see. So, business stationery, marketing products, the normal paper products, but lots of specialty services that we have. So we have an entire signage company that's under the same roof now. including a lot of custom display pieces. So things like fabrics, pretty much anything that would go on a ceiling or a window or a wall or a floor. Lots of stuff goes on floors these days, which is really fascinating.
I was going to say, over the years, you've kind of gone from this quick printer copy shop right there in the middle of VCU to being more of a full service commercial printer, and really now into promotional manufacturing and fulfillment. And it's really been exciting to see your company grow through the years in the same way that ours has. We've grown along with you.
Yeah, I have found some. I found some old pictures where I think we had 2 copy machines and 2 desks and a big empty room. And 2 years ago we moved. We were on Gray Street, and we had 2,000 square feet right at 900 block of West Gray Street, which was it was so much fun to be right there on VCU's campus. It really was a great place to start. But we ran out of space, so we leased a room in the building next door. We came down at 2 o'clock in the morning. We drilled holes through the walls and strung phone lines through so that we could link the phone systems between the 2 buildings. And then we had to lease another room. And so, eventually it just became difficult to do the type of business that we were trying. You can't get a tractor trailer down on Gray Street. Trying to get things in and out became really difficult. So 2 years ago, we moved 6 blocks away. So we moved from the 900 block of Gray Street to the 900 block of Lee Street. But now we've got over 10,000 square feet and a blessed loading dock. And so the intergalactic headquarters for Wythken Printing is now located here at 900 West Lee Street. I even have a parking lot.
I was going to say,
let me tell you, parking lot on Gray Street was crazy.
Now, I know that you mentioned at the outset of this that March came around, everything kind of changed. It changed some because the VCU business and the student business and that sort of stuff changed because they sent all the kids home. But it also changed in the business sense. And you guys had migrated into doing full service commercial kind of printing and stuff. Some things probably changed, but then it probably presented an opportunity on the other side. Things like signage, right? We have to have signage that says stand 6 feet apart. Tell me about that impact on your business in March.
So, so the biggest from the hit side, a lot of the work that we did and a lot of the work that all printers did. So I'll tell you, overall for the printing industry, sales are down by almost 40%. And that's come up since April and May. So the entire industry has really been hurt pretty badly by this thing. But a lot of the work that we were doing were for events. So someone has an event. A normal stream would be, we're going to mail out 2,500 invitations, and then when the event comes along, they're going to need programs and signage and name tags and awards and all of the different pieces that go along with that. So all of that has just gone, or that's just crickets now. So that has just completely dropped off. And then as other companies' revenue gets hurt, they look for places to shave budget, and that is also across the board. Right. So, and being, starting on VCU's campus had its good points and its bad points. We had so much stuff tied up with VCU that I think that hurt us a little more than what it would have been otherwise. But at the plus side, it really has given us a chance to sit back. And, I think this is very common, is that you are so caught up trying to meet the day-to-day, moment-to-moment needs of your clients that it is hard to step back and look at the big picture and say, are we even doing the right thing? And if we wanted to change something, how could we possibly do that? And that was very much the situation that we found ourselves in, is there was this laundry list of things that really needed to get done, but finding the time to do that and service needs of the clients at exactly the same time was just almost impossible.
That leads me to another great point too. One of the things is, it sounds like you took some of the time to reevaluate the business model, right? to take a look at where your revenue was coming from. And instead of responding immediately to the client needs, which is what you still have to do as a business, you took time to work on the business rather than in the business. And that was some of the best advice that I got years ago. Don't get so wrapped up in the day to day where you're actually working in it and in the business and not on the business. Lead me through that process. Did that start immediately in March? Did it start last month? What's been that process like the last couple of months where you've started to reevaluate the business model to make adjustments moving forward?
So I think there was about 2 weeks of shock. Yeah, just shock. What is going on? What are we going to do? And I really, within 2 weeks, had recognized that, I think the world as we knew it on March, and I picked the weekend of March 13th through 16th is the one that I always pick as the weekend. I think the world as we knew it stopped at that point. And we are going through this enormous period of change right now. So we went through a couple weeks of just shell shock. I don't know any other word for it. And then at that point, I just made the decision that the world was going to change. We were going to change with it. In my mind, I closed the company. I just mentally shut down the continuity of it. And I said, all right, here's a list of all the things that I have. I have 10,000 square feet, 6 blocks from VCU and less than a mile from downtown Richmond. I have this list of manufacturing equipment. I have a loading dock. We can provide these services. All right. Now, if I take all that stuff and I shuffle it back up and I was going to start a brand new enterprise, what would I do? And that was everything from close it to keep going exactly the way that we were. And I'll tell you what came out of that was to refocus our efforts on the most effective use of the technologies that were out there. I think that's where printing companies suffer. Right? Printing companies are not change agents. They're the only companies out there that would actually applaud if the internet went offline.
Right.
I mean, they're terrible with that. Yeah.
One thing there that I looked at, and being through a few recessions myself now, the reason I stopped doing this little beard thing here is because I have the same problem as you, Rick. It all turned white on me. So I basically stopped growing that.
Well, I think this looks good on me, though.
I think it does. Distinguished. I grew it so I could hide my fat face. So anyway,
you'll always be good looking to me. So
then I started looking like Santa. But anyway, that's a different kind of thing. But the idea there is that throughout recessions fundamentally change the business environment. So companies have to reassess and then move forward from that. This was sudden, like you said, one weekend, it was sudden. When the market dropped in 2009 and the housing market fell out and all that, it was in a pretty compact window of about 3 or 4 months when Fortune 500 companies in Richmond went out of business and the market went down and the housing market imploded, and that left this 5-year recession, right? This time it seems like it was really, really compact, but the recovery has already started before the pandemic is over in many respects, if you look at economic indicators and the fact that things are moving back. In those times, in recessionary times, it seems like that people make a conscious decision to specialize in an area or become a generalist in other areas or add new services. What's Wythken's response? Is it to specialize in one particular area of printing, or is it to become more of a full service solutions provider for small businesses? I mean, so where are you guys headed?
So we have definitely added some products and services. So I think that really is key. I won't say that we have stopped any products and services. We have added, so things like fulfillment and adding to, so we have done direct mail for years, but we added packaging and parcel services in volume. So we have software now that links us into USPS and UPS and FedEx and lets us kind of actively decide, hey, here's where we want to put these 400 packages.
Right.
Things that are, so, companies that are no longer centralized as they want to distribute something to their clients or their employees, people aren't doing that in person anymore. So it's not just mailing a letter, it is how do I mail this physical object, which is a really different business than mailing a letter. But
So the direct mail piece, and that's one of the other trends that I've seen right now, is they're going from direct mail to really objects and like three-dimensional objects and things like that that people are sending out to businesses.
yeah, I mean, people want to send out T-shirts or promotional products or
Promotional products, t-shirts, yeah.
whatever it is that they're trying to get at. But I will tell you the number one change is not so much in the products and services that we create. It's in how we reach out to the client. So e-commerce is the largest. That's the project that we have going on right now. So and that has been on my radar for 15 years.
Right.
And it is a big project to get done, but that is the shift. So it is not so much what are we going to do with the products and services, it is how are we going to deliver those to people. So if you look at trends that are going to happen from this, people were already moving online, but people are really going to be buying online now.
So getting that and like fundamentally paring that down a little bit more. So you've added services, you've added direct mail through the years, you've added promotional products, signage, different things that you can do on the fulfillment side. Would it be safe to say that now for small and mid-sized companies in the Richmond area, you're kind of a one-stop marketing manufacturing shop, right? So they can go get their rectangles,
Yep.
right? Okay. You can get your direct mail done. You can get promotional product fulfillment. You can get signage like yard signs and different things, or window signage, posters.
Stuff in your windows, if you want to put stuff on your floors, any of those pieces. Yeah, pretty much. That's been the plan all along, is to create a one-stop place where a mid-sized company could come in and get just about anything that they need in terms of stationery or marketing or signage.
Right. So this is awesome. So think about this, like 98% of all business is small business, right? So at Madison+Main, we really got into a niche. We're helping companies between 50 and 1,500 employees, right? So that's kind of our niche. If you call up today and you say, I'm at home, I sell homemade candles on Etsy, right? That I make in my backyard because I found a hive last year. And I steal their wax.
All swollen and bleeded from being stung.
Right.
All right, the visual
And my cousin's uncle's nephew's Eddie built me a Wix, website, and
right.
Now I want to hire a marketing firm. I go, I'm sorry, honey, I can't help you out. And so I refer them out, right? And so, but if XYZ company, with 50 employees and 10 years under their belt and says, look, we've been manufacturing blah, 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 blah in the Richmond area, and we want to expand to Norfolk and Virginia Beach. I'm like, hey, we're your guys.
Right.
Where is that kind of thing for you? Where's the sweet spot? Do you want Susie Smith, with her Etsy thing at home, like in her beeswax candles, coming in to say, hey, I need business cards, I need some direct mail, I need some promotion from the website, and I need some stand-ups when I go to the farmer's market? Or is that your sweet spot, or is it going to be larger than that? Because there's a lot of different people that watch us and follow, in small and mid-sized businesses. What's the ideal size and type of client for you guys?
So I think so the micro businesses, the one-person startups, those are always challenging because it's a lot of time and effort, and their resources are very limited. So I'm not going to say that we won't help it. We help a lot of people. And we help a lot of individual consumers. I think in terms of businesses, it is probably about the same spot that, maybe not up to 1,500 people. It depends on the business, but certainly the mid-sized business, generally, I think companies that need their products to look professional, they need, they can't afford to be parochial any longer.
Right.
But they don't necessarily have the resources to create a full design and marketing department in-house.
Right.
So the service component that we have always offered here, I think that's where we operate best. It is when someone comes in or a business comes in and says, we realize that we should be running direct marketing, or we want to run this direct marketing campaign, but we have no idea how to kick it off. I don't know where to get a list. I don't know how to make this stuff. I don't know what should be going in there. That's really a good sweet spot for us. We have a number of clients that really kind of fit that niche. The biggest problem oftentimes that I'll get is that people just don't have the artwork in a format that is really ready for production in a way that is going to represent their business the way they want.
So did people walk in and say, I drew this on a napkin and I really want you to copy it and send it out to my customers?
So I'll tell you, Canva, oh my gosh. Like I have gotten some stuff from Canva that you would not believe. Or when people strip a logo out of their website, that's always a joy to work with as well. And like I say, I mean, I'm being facetious to make jokes about it. They're not supposed to understand that. I am. And that's what I want to establish with them is, don't go trying to do that. That's where we can come in and really help out.
So I was trying to explain this to somebody the other day. Part of the thing is that the Walmart of printing out there, the Canadian company, I won't even mention their name. People go and say, oh, well, blah, 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 blah. I can send it off to X. Okay, well, they get back something that's extremely pixelated. They got it for cheap, but the thing's tissue paper thin. Nobody bothered to proof it or anything like that, and it's spelled wrong, so they have to resubmit the order. I have heard 1,000 horror stories about these things. And so, I was going to ask you, like, what's the value of bringing it down the street? And by the way, thank you in 2005 for dealing with the Etsy kind of size client who had this idea to start a marketing firm and needed some business cards, and taking the time to explain that process and working with this through the years, because that turned out pretty good. Yeah. We've been a customer of yours for 15 years, and you've been a client of ours for 15 years. And that's a great symbiotic relationship. I know that. And I appreciate that. And one of the things about it is I think all the guys and gals here appreciate the level of care, the expertise, the can-do attitude that you have that floats down from you to every single person in the organization. So one, I want to say thanks for that. But the getting back to that, there's an advantage of going local and saying, hey, I'm going to call Rick, rather than send this blindly off to somewhere else, to this printer in Atlanta or this company in Canada or something else, and hope it turns out for the best. Maybe for a couple bucks more, or maybe I can get it tomorrow as opposed to next Tuesday. There's some advantages to calling Wythken than just going to the next click on the website or click on the Google search, right?
Yeah, and I'll have the internet conversation. And it really depends on what if somebody's goal is to get this for the lowest possible price, then I just go. That's not necessarily, that's not what we provide. I'm not saying that we are incredibly expensive. There are a lot of times when people have been surprised that we were actually less expensive than what they were pricing against on the internet. But and this has always been fundamental to how we operate, is that we absorb a part of the responsibility for making it look good. So I will stop a job if it looks good, if it doesn't look good, and call somebody back and say, look, I just want to flag this. I know that you designed this. I know you set it up. I know you didn't ask me to review it, but I am, and I think we can do better.
Right.
And I have earned a lot of clients from that. And I'm going through the exact same conversation with a brand new person that called me yesterday, and they're in a pickle and they need something, and they are new at InDesign. They're new at setting up the software, and they've never made a book before. And it's hard to make books. It's, you know, you're not born with that knowledge. And it's exactly the same set of steps to go through, and we're very good at that. I think that's what we're.
You know, you mentioned something there. I've got the VCU alma mater on, you know, I mean, the VCU logo on, love the alma mater, right? They've got the, you know, top rated marketing program, the #1 postgraduate advertising program in the country, right? And they're sending out designers into the world that are amazingly talented, that don't know how to put together a print ready file.
Nor do they feel that it's their responsibility to teach that, to tell you the truth.
Now, isn't that amazing in this #1 highly rated university that they don't tell you the fundamentals about how to set up something as simple as a business card so you can get it, and the manufacturer make that in a way, because there is a difference between, and I'm preaching now, the InDesign passing through this secretive kind of process to the where it comes over here, and then it's printed and cut and stacked and sorted and then wrapped in cellophane and then handed back to the client. There's a manufacturing process. This doesn't just appear because I thought it or designed it, right?
In fact, how good that final product looks is entirely dependent on how good the art is. So right. It's not, you know, I mean, that, you know, my job is to keep the equipment stable and consistent with standards. And then if I put good in, you know, if I put, you know, then I get good out. And if I put right. garbage in, I get garbage out. So I've taught in the graphic design department over there for several semesters. And so it is interesting, and I do understand where they're coming from. I mean, the concept of the concept of creating design is not the same as the concept of establishing manufacturing specs. And their expectation is that if students are interested in that, you know, a student can learn something on their own. They don't have to be hand-fed everything. And so I have a couple people, one person here who works for me who I met because he took my class. And, you know, it was because he took a personal interest in trying to learn how these things work outside of class. And, you know, so it does come down. I mean, what my experience with a class there was, you know, what I wish was that I could take about 90% of the class and say, look, I'm going to give you all a B if you just don't ever show up again. And then I can take the last 3, 4, 5 people that were actually interested, and we could actually sit down and learn something.
Yeah.
So you have schools like RIT, whose job in the program I was in had nothing to do with graphic design. I am not an artist. If you want something ugly, get me to design it. I will create the most hideous thing that you have ever seen in your life. They teach technology, which is what I studied. So there are 2 different disciplines. They're using one half of a tool, but I'm using the other half of a tool. So I don't necessarily understand their creative side. My job is to help. You know, I mean, that's my job, is to step in and help.
One of the things, you know, and I want to get back in. We got a minute left because I want to get the thing under 30 minutes. One, I want to say, hey, thanks. Thank you for your partnership. Thank you for all of the hard work over the years. Like I said, staff's always dedicated there. I want to direct people to your website. It's wythken.com, right?
Right. Wythken with a Y.
Wythken with a Y. I think Derek put it into the chat already. So we can direct people there. We know that a lot of people see this. Here's the one thing. if you're thinking about something, your business cards, your direct mail, or promotional products, your yard signs, or whatever, you're just thinking about it. Okay. They give you a call, shoot you something on the website, and just say, hey, bounce some ideas off you.
As early as possible in the process.
As early as possible in the process, because you can't do that with that .com in Canada. You can't do that with this company down in Atlanta or whatever else, because it's really order and transactionally based, right? You got to have your stuff together before you actually put it in. And their job is not to give you expertise or advice or stop the presses literally and quality check it to make sure that you're going to be happy with it. So, I put the call out there to every business owner, every marketing director in town, every assistant to the CEO or president that has to get the 250 invites out next week or the whatever, like, call Rick. Here's the thing. I mean, call you up, send you something through the website. If they can't reach you directly, they've got half a dozen folks over there that can help you out. And you guys have helped us out of a lot of jams over the years. And the majority of our clients rely on you for their needs. So I appreciate that. Yeah, we're at the 12:30 mark. Anything else, Rick, before we leave episode number 10 of Convos with Clients?
And I'm double just in 4 to 6 weeks, if you go to the website, it's going to be different. So you will be able to go there and you'll be able to buy a product. You'll be able, you can create a product on the site. So it'll be the same ability to go onto a website, but we're still going to be local. And I'm hoping that's going to allow us to free our time up here to really focus on the clients that need the help that they want. And then I do have one last problem I need you to help me with. So
right.
I've been struggling with this. I think every person needs a theme song. So this has really been heavy on my mind lately. So I need you and I just want to get this out there to you. So I know your mind, that create burst is going to hit you at 4:30 in the morning. So I'm thinking,
is this like 60s guitar twang Dwayne Eddy? Is this 70s yacht rock, or is this 80s thrashing metal headbanging stuff?
Gotta depend. I mean, it's a theme song. Okay. It could be any. It is going to be how cool would it be if you walk into a room and just subtly, all of a sudden, your theme starts to play? Can you imagine walking in the Darth Vader theme starting?
You know what I did? I'll tell you, Rick. When I do a lot of speaking engagements, and what I've started doing is, that pump up music that you get before you walk up on stage while people are still applauding. I've started playing the intro to 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Right. That's good. Yeah. Music, I've always played music, so music has a big impact on people.
And then I step to the microphone, and then my first words are, "I'm sorry, Dave, I can't do that." Yeah. Which I think is like the inside joke. But anyway, Rick, hey, thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it. And go to the website now to contact Rick and let him. And then also, we're going to push this out in 4 to 6 weeks. When you get the new Wythken.com up and rolling and everything else, we're going to help you promote that. At one-stop shop for small and mid-sized businesses here, where you can upload a thing, you can get your rectangles made, you can get promotional products, you can get fulfillment and design and all this sort of stuff for your direct mail. And excited to talk to you about it. I'm excited for you and the business as we enter our 15th year of partnership. I'll give you the virtual handshake. Yep. And I only do this for clients who really, really, really did a good job. Played this twice. There you go. Good job, man.
If I had a drum roll, I'd play it for you. But I lack a studio here. So
say hi to all the crew at Wythken and say hi to family too. All right, buddy?
We'll see you soon.
See you. Thanks a lot. Bye.